In today's lecture, we will discuss dimensional analysis. And before going to on this topic, we will just understand the physical quantities. So, what is physical quantities? What is physical quantity? Student, physical quantities are those quantities which can be measured, and as we know that time, mass, temperature, all of these quantities are measured. That's why they are called physical quantities. And the physical quantities are categorized in two types. And first one is fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. First one is fundamental physical quantity, and second one is derived physical quantity. Okay, students, fundamental physical quantities are those physical quantities which are independent of each other. It means the value of the formula of one physical quantity is totally independent of another one. So there are 7 physical quantities, fundamental physical quantities, and I am writing here. First one is length, mass, then time, temperature, current. I am also writing here temperature, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So these are the 7 physical fundamental quantities. So here I am telling you that these are quantities which are independent of each other. It means that in the formula of length, it is independent totally. It is not depending on the mass and time and temperature and current. And derived physical quantities are those physical quantities which depend on the fundamental physical quantities, just like area, velocity. So here students, area is, you know that general formula is length into breadth. And as you are seeing in this formula that area is depending on the length and breadth, and both are related to length. So it is depending on the fundamental physical quantities. And for velocity, you know that it is displacement upon time. And you are seeing here that velocity is depending on the displacement, which is analogous to length, and this is time. So here these are the derived physical quantities and these are the fundamental physical quantities. And there are 2 more physical quantities which are called supplementary physical quantities. So these are 2. First one is plane angle, and second one is solid angle. Now students, you know that the SI unit of length is meter, mass is kg, and time is in second, temperature is in Kelvin K, and the current is in ampere, and amount of substance is in mole, and the luminous intensity in candela, CANDELA, and we write abbreviation as CD. Okay. Now this is all about the physical quantities. I think you got the idea about the physical quantities. Now we are going to discuss, student, dimensional. So before going to the dimensional, we are just symbolizing the dimensional symbol of all the physical quantities. So the symbol, I am roughing it and noting it again so that you can clearly visualize it. Okay. So first one is length, and for length the dimensional symbol is, student, capital L. Second one is mass, and for mass the dimensional symbol is capital M. Next, the next one is time, and it is denoted as capital T. Then temperature. For temperature, student, it is represented as K, and in some textbook it is also represented as theta. So there is no problem if you write K or theta. Okay. And the next one is current, and for current the dimensional symbol is A. Next one is intensity of light, and for it we write dimensional symbol is CD. And last one is amount of substance. And for it we write dimensional symbol is as mole. Okay. So these are the dimensional symbol which I write in front of all the physical quantities. Length is represented as L, mass is represented as M, time is as T, temperature is as K, current is as A, and light intensity is CD, and amount of substance is as mole. Okay. Now student, we would start to find the dimensional formula of the derived physical quantities. So let's start with the process. So first one we are going to explain you is for area. Okay, for area. So there are some steps to which you can find the dimensional formula of all the derived physical quantities. Okay, so for it you have to just know the formula of that physical quantity. Okay, for area you know that the area formula is length into breadth. So this is the first step, student. You have to write the formula of that physical quantities for which you are going to find out the dimensional formula. The next step is you have to convert that formula in terms of fundamental physical quantities. So I am writing length is as length because it is a fundamental physical quantities, and in place of breadth we can also write length because it is analogous to length, it is the distance, so we can write it as length into length. So now for length you know the dimensional symbol I have written just, so it is L, so write it as L, and the second one is also length, so we can also write it as L. And L into L in indices you know that L into L is L ki power 2, it means L is square. So and write this, enclose it by the large bracket, then it becomes bracket के अंदर क्या आपका दिख रहा है L square. Okay, so finally we got the dimensional formula of area. Now you are seeing here, students, is there any term of mass or time? No. So we can also represent it as m की power 0 because the anything whose power is 0 is the value is 1. So m की power 0 we can write here L2 and t to the power 0. So here we have seen that this is the dimensional formula for the physical quantity area. Okay. Now what is dimension, students? I have told you the dimensional formula, how we find the dimensional formula. Now I am going to define the dimension. What is dimension? What is dimension? Okay, students are very confused in dimensional formula and dimension, so I am clearing it for you. So dimension is the, student, it is just the power raised to the physical quantity. Dimension is what? It is the power to which a physical quantity is to be raised. देखिए यहाँ पर आप, here you are seeing that here n की power is what? 0, L की power 2 and power of t is 0. So the dimension of area is 0 to 0. 0 in m and 2 is in L and 0 is in t. So these are dimensions of area in m, L and t. So you are seeing you have one confusion here. You can be, so that confusion is why we are not writing it as in another term of physical quantities, because for all the physical quantities the power would be 0 because that terms are also not present here. So And the purpose of writing the dimensional formula in terms of m, l and t is only that in the mechanics, when we talk about the mechanics, so we can represent most of the physical quantities in terms of mass, length and time. So that's why I am representing it as in terms of m, l and t. Okay, so this is the dimension here. Now we are going to solve the second example, and the second example is we are taking here velocity. You know that the student velocity is equal to displacement upon time. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. As I told you that for finding the dimensional formula, you have just know the formula related to that physical quantity. So I have known very well that velocity is equal to displacement upon time, and for displacement, because it is analogous to length, we would just write here length upon time. Okay, so we have right here displacement in place for displacement, length upon time. And for length, you know that the dimensional symbol is L, and for time the dimensional symbol is T. Okay, so this is L by T, and we are moving this T in the numerator. So what it would become L T ki power minus 1, L T ki power minus 1, and we enclose it in a large bracket L T minus 1, and we are also, you are seeing here there is no terms of mass, so I am writing it as m to the power 0 L T to the power minus 1. So this is the dimensional formula for the velocity, and the dimension for the velocity is 0, 1 and minus 1. 0 is in m and 1 is in L and minus 1 is in T. So I think you have clear idea how we find the dimensional formula and dimension. What is dimension? So just some more examples. Okay. Our next example is force. So for finding the dimensional formula for force, you know that you have to just know the formula of the force, and the formula of the force is mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. F is equal to ma. Okay, and students, for finding the dimensional formula of force, we have to know the dimensional formula for acceleration. So let's first solve for acceleration. So acceleration is what? Acceleration is equal to change in velocity, that is delta v upon time interval delta t. Okay, and for velocity we can break it into velocity in terms of displacement upon time. So it would become LT minus 1, as I solved earlier in just previous one example. The dimension of velocity is LT minus 1, and for time we are placing it at as t. Okay, so this is LT minus 1 upon t. Sorry, and when it t becomes when t moves in the numerator, it would become LT to the power minus 2. Okay, now we can also write it as m to the power 0, L and t to the power minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula for acceleration, m to the power 0, Lt minus 2. Yeah, simply you can say that it is Lt to the power minus 2. And what about dimension? Dimension is 0, 1 and minus 2. 0 is in m and 1 is in L and minus 2 is in t. So these are the dimensions 0, 1 and minus 2. 0 is in m and 1 is in L and minus 2 is in t. Okay. Now we would find the dimension of force. Okay. For mass we can symbolize it at m, and for acceleration we have already known as it is Lt to the power minus 2. Okay. So here it is mL to the power minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula for force. So this is the dimensional formula for force. Okay, here you are seeing that the dimensional formula for force is mLt to the power minus 2. Okay, so the dimension here 1 and again 1 and minus 2. 1 is in m and L is in 1 is in L and minus 2 is in T. So I think you have clear idea about what is dimension analysis, physical quantities and so on. Okay.
Hello student, myself Jyoti Singh from Shivaji Inter College and welcome to my online classes. This is the class of class first year and subject is chemistry. Now today I am going to start new chapter of class 11, that is the redox reaction. To understand what is redox reaction, first you must clear two terms, that is the oxidation and reduction. What is oxidation and what is reduction? So what is oxidation? There are various different definitions for the oxidation and reduction. First one is addition of oxygen is known as oxidation. Like Mg react with oxygen to form MgO. Here oxygen add in Mg. So Mg gets oxidized. Other example is sulfur plus O2 gives SO2. In this example, oxygen attached, added in sulfur, so sulfur is oxidized. So what is oxidation? First example, first definition is addition of oxygen is known as oxidation. Like in this example, methane react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So carbon attached with oxygen. So in this reaction, carbon gets oxidized. Addition of oxygen is known as oxidation. Now the second definition is removal of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen is known as oxidation. For example, hydrogen sulfide react with oxygen to form sulfur and water. Here, sulfur gets oxidized because H2 replaced from H2S to give sulfur. So in this reaction, removal of H here from H2S. So this is example of oxidation. So what is the definition of oxidation? Addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen is known as oxidation. Student, oxygen is electronegative element and hydrogen is electropositive element. So another definition is addition of electronegative element, addition of oxygen. So also the addition of electronegative element like fluorine, chlorine and sulfur is also known as oxidation. Addition of oxygen and also the addition of electronegative element is known as oxidation. For example, Mg react with F2 to form MgF2. In this reaction, F is added in Mg, it means Mg get oxidized. Likewise, in this example, Mg get oxidized by the addition of Cl2. Cl2 is an electronegative element. In third example, Mg react with sulfur, Mg get oxidized by the addition of sulfur. So these are the example of oxidation. So what is oxidation? Addition of oxygen and as well as addition of electronegative element is known as oxidation. Also the removal of hydrogen. Hydrogen is an electropositive element. So the removal of electropositive element is known as oxidation. Removal of electropositive element. For example, here 4K is present and during the reaction after the here 3 potassium is present. So 1K is replaced from this reaction and K is metal, it is electropositive element. So removal of electropositive element is also known as oxidation. So what is oxidation? Addition of oxygen as well as addition of electronegative element or removal of hydrogen as well as removal of electropositive element is known as oxidation. I hope you understand well what is oxidation. Now we move to reduction. What is reduction? It is just opposite to oxidation. What is oxidation? Addition of oxygen. So, removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen is known as reduction. For example, 2 molecules of HgO dissociate to give mercury and oxygen. In this reaction, O is removed from HgO. So removal of oxygen is known as reduction. Here in this reaction, HgO get reduced to form mercury, Hg. So it is just opposite to oxidation. In oxidation, addition of oxygen is known as oxidation, and reduction, removal of oxygen is known as reduction. Second definition, in oxidation, removal of hydrogen. So its opposite is addition of hydrogen is known as reduction. So what is reduction? Removal of oxygen and addition of hydrogen is known as reduction. It is seen in this example. It is hydrogenation reaction. Unsaturated compound reacts with hydrogen to form saturated compound. In this reaction, 2H added in this unsaturated compound, ethylene, to form saturated. So in this reaction, C2H4 get reduced to form ethane. Now, likewise, oxygen is an electronegative element and hydrogen is electropositive element. So, removal of oxygen is known as reduction, as well as removal of electronegative element. It is just opposite to this. Here, addition of electronegative element. So here, elimination, removal of electronegative element is known as reduction. Like in this reaction, 3Cl is present, and during the reaction 2Cl is present. So 1Cl is replaced from this side. So this is the reduction, example of reduction, and FeCl3 get reduced into FeCl2. Okay. Now the second definition is addition of electropositive element. Hydrogen is electropositive, and addition of hydrogen is known as reduction. So as well as addition of electropositive element is also known as reduction. For example, HgCl2 plus SnCl2 gives Hg2Cl2 and SnCl4. In this reaction, here one Hg is present, and during the reaction 2 Hg is present. So Hg is electropositive element. One Hg added in this reaction. So HgCl2 get reduced to Hg2Cl2, and this is the example of reduction. So what is reduction? Removal of oxygen as well as removal of electronegative element, addition of hydrogen as well as addition of electropositive element is known as reduction. I hope you understand well what is oxidation and what is reduction. Student, this is the old concept, and new concept is based on the theory of electron. So according to new concept, removal of electron. According to new concept, removal of electron, loss of electron is known as oxidation, and gain of electron is known as reduction. So according to new concept, removal of electron is known as oxidation, and it is opposite to reduction. That is, the gain of electron is known as reduction. You can see here, in this reaction, Mg replaced 2 electrons, and these 2 electrons taken by oxygen. So in this reaction, Mg loses electron, so Mg get oxidized, and these 2 electrons are taken by oxygen. So oxygen take electron and get reduced. So here in this reaction, Mg get oxidized and O2 get reduced. Student, oxidation and reduction is not a separate process. It is simultaneously occurs. So redox reaction is a reaction in which oxidation and reduction takes place together. Okay. Now the last definition is, if oxidation number increases, so that the oxidation takes place, and if oxidation number decreases, so reduction takes place. You can see here in this example, Mg have 0 oxidation state, and in this side of reaction, Mg have +2 oxidation state. So 0 to +2, that is the increases in oxidation number. So Mg get oxidized. In oxygen have 0 oxidation state in here. O is 0 oxidation state in O2, and during the reaction in here, oxygen have -2. So 0 to -2, it means decreases the oxidation number, so oxygen get reduced. So I hope you understand well what is oxidation, what is reduction, and what is redox reaction. In next video, I will discuss what is oxidation number and how it calculates. Thank you.
Hello students and very good morning to all of you. Students, today we will start our new chapter in class 11 syllabus, which is sets. So students, in the syllabus of class 11, the first chapter is sets. The word set is first used by mathematician George Cantor. मैथमेटिशियन जॉर्ज कैंटर ने सबसे पहले सेट्स का बताया था, उसके वर्ड को यूज किया है स्टूडेंट्स. सो नाउ लेट्स व्हाट इज सेट. सो डेफिनेशन ऑफ सेट. इट मीन्स समुच्चय की परिभाषा. Students, what is set? A collection of well-defined object is called set. Collection of well-defined objects. Here I use the word well-defined. Collection means इकट्ठा करना, objects मतलब जो भी वस्तुएं या आपके पास व्यक्ति होंगे, उनका जो कलेक्शन होगा वो सुपरिभाषित होगा, तो वो हमारे पास जो कलेक्शन होता है वो सेट कहलाता है स्टूडेंट. सो अ कलेक्शन ऑफ वेल डिफाइंड ऑब्जेक्ट इज कॉल्ड सेट. वेल डिफाइंड मीन्स वो हमारे पास वेल नोन होना चाहिए, जो कलेक्शन हो वेल नोन होना चाहिए, वेल सर्टिफाइड होना चाहिए. वेल नोन वेल सर्टिफाइड का मीन्स स्टूडेंट्स ये है कि हमारे पास उसका एक स्टैंडर्ड स्केल होना चाहिए, जो हमको पता हो कि हाँ ये चीज वास्तव में ये चीज हमारे पास रियल में ये चीज होती है, नॉट एनी एज्यूमिंग थिंग्स. सो वेल नोन वेल सर्टिफाइड मीन्स स्टैंडर्ड स्केल पे वो मेजर होना चाहिए और वेल सर्टिफाइड होना चाहिए. देन वी कॉल कलेक्शन इज वेल डिफाइंड. सो स्टूडेंट्स, a collection of well defined object is called set. Let us take some example to understood this line of set, that is what is set. Example number first. Students, if we call there is a collection of all rivers in India, it is said or not? So students, we all know that there is certain rivers, निश्चित हमारे पास नदी है भारत में, हम कह सकते हैं कि ये हमारे पास वेल डिफाइंड है. वेल डिफाइंड है मतलब ये सर्टिफाइड है कि हमारे पास 40 नदियां या 50 नदियां या इनका नाम ये है, तो ये वेल सर्टिफाइड है. तो बच्चों हम ये कह सकते हैं कि ये जो हमारे पास एक स्टेटमेंट दिया हुआ है that the collection of all rivers in India is said or not. So this is a set. This is a set because this is well defined. Take another example, students. A set or collection, a collection of all positive odd integers less than 9. So students, it is set or not? So students, here you see that the collection of all positive odd integers. Integers means positive integers, that means 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. But here is the condition, bounding condition is less than 9. Less than 9. So we can say the positive odd integer is 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 7. So positive odd integer, if 0 included, then this is the set. This is the positive odd integers. Now students, let us take another example. Example number 3. The collection of all intelligent student in a class. Students, and here the question is arise that this is set or not. So students, the collection of all intelligent, here a word used intelligent. So intelligent word is qualitative description. This is give qualitative description. And anywhere is there is qualitative description, then this is not a set. So intelligent, we cannot any scale that students is intelligent in which field. If there are students in class, we cannot say which student is intelligent in which field. So intelligent is not any scale for measuring students. So this is not a set. So if there is any intelligent or specific quality, so this type of collection is not called any set. So this is not set, students. This is not a set. Now take student example number 4. The set of all good students. So earlier there is a word good which shows the qualitative description. So this is also not well defined set, because well defined इसलिए नहीं है students क्योंकि well defined के लिए हमारे पास उसका क्राइटेरिया होता है स्पेशल. बट गुड, which field is good? We cannot say that students in which field they are good. So there is no, then this is not a set. So students, hopefully you all understand the definition of set, what is set, and I take some example to understood you. So students, now students, notation of a set. स्टूडेंट्स, सेट को हम कैसे नोटेट करेंगे, उसको कैसे पहचानेंगे, उसका क्या रिप्रेजेंट होता है, तो सेट को कैसे नोटेट करते हैं. द सेट्स आर यूजुअली डिनोटेड एज कैपिटल लेटर्स, that is capital A, capital B, capital C and so on, X, capital Y, capital Z. So sets को students हम लोग capital letters में denote करते हैं. Now students, elements of a set. Student, set के elements क्या होते हैं, set का member क्या होते हैं. The member which make the set are called element of a set. Element of that set. So students, वो member, वो objects जो कि सेट को बनाते हैं, सेट को बनाने के लिए जो अंदर उसके मेंबर होते हैं वो हमें एलिमेंट कहलाते हैं, उसको हम एक स्टेटमेंट एलिमेंट्स कहते हैं स्टूडेंट. द मेंबर ऑफ व्हिच मेक्स द सेट आर कॉल्ड एलिमेंट्स ऑफ अ दैट सेट. और वी कैन से द ऑब्जेक्ट्स बिलोंगिंग टू मेक A set is called element of set. So students, ऑब्जेक्ट्स जो कि हमारे पास एक सेट को बिलोंग करते हैं वो हमारे पास उसके एलिमेंट कहलाते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल स्टूडेंट्स, एलिमेंट्स आर denoted as small letters A, B, C, that is something like this. तो एलिमेंट्स को स्टूडेंट्स हम लोग स्मॉल लेटर में बिलोंग करते हैं. स्टूडेंट्स, if any element belongs to set A, then we denote this statement as A belongs to capital A. If any element small a belongs to set capital A, then we denote this statement as A small a belongs to capital A. This symbol is a Greek symbol which is epsilon. Epsilon students, this is called epsilon and its meaning is belongs to. Belongs to. So its meaning is belongs to. So small a, that is called element of set A. So if any elements belongs to, उस सेट में अगर कोई एलिमेंट है हमारे पास उसको ये सिंबल से हम लोग, ये सिंबल का मतलब है कि ये एलिमेंट इस सेट के अंदर है, इसका एक मेंबर है. So this is called belongs to. Now students, if any element small a does not belong to set A, then we denote it as small a does not belongs to set A. It means does not belong, it means A is not a member of set A. So this symbol means does not belong. Does not belong. For example, students, here a set, take a set A 1, 2, 3, 4. So students, 1 belongs to A or not. So there you see that in set A is made into elements 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is the element of A. So here 1 is the element of A and 5 is not the element of A. So students, you recognize this symbol epsilon or epsilon not. Sorry, epsilon or does not. ये epsilon को अगर कट कर देंगे तो हमारे पास ये does not belongs to हो जाएगा और ये हमारे पास belongs to. Now students, there are some standard set of numbers. Students, see this symbol, description, and set. So symbol capital N. So capital N is set of natural numbers. And set representation is capital N is mixed with the element 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So this is the set of natural numbers which denote the symbol N, and the set representation is this. Now set of W, this is called set of whole numbers. And whole numbers, when any numbers start with 0 in natural number, start with whole number is set with start with 0, 1, 2, 3. Yes, whole numbers. Now Z set of integers, which is noted Z is equal to 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and so on. Now Z minus set of negative integers, students. Set of negative integers. Set of negative integers means Z minus, students. There is dot dot minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. This is called negative integers, students. Z plus students. Set of positive integers. So positive integers is Z plus, his representation is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is called the positive integers. Now students, Q set of rational numbers. Its representation is Q is defined as number, any number which is in the form of P upon Q, where P comma Q belongs to integers and Q does not equal to 0. Q बच्चों 0 नहीं होना चाहिए, then we call rational numbers. Now another, जिसका I symbol I is represented as set of irrational number. Irrational number is what? Any number which is not rational number. Not rational number, it means any number which is not in the set of rational number. So this is set of irrational number. So now R, what is set of real numbers? So real number is the maximum set which involves natural number, whole number, integers and rational numbers and irrational number. So real numbers का जो सेट होता है स्टूडेंट्स, वो हमारे पास सारे एलिमेंट रख सकता है, जो कि नेचुरल नंबर्स के भी हो सकते हैं, होल नंबर्स के भी होते हैं, इंटीजर्स के भी हो सकते हैं, रेशनल के भी, इरेशनल के भी हो सकते हैं. इट मींस रेशनल नंबर में हमारे पास का जो सेट होगा वो नेचुरल नंबर के एलिमेंट से भी बन सकता है, डब्ल्यू से भी आ सकता है, होल नंबर से भी मिल सकता है, इंटीजर्स का भी हो सकता है और रेशनल और इरेशनल का भी हो सकता है. एंड लास्ट स्टूडेंट्स, सी सिंबल इज मीन सेट ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर. सेट ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स. सो सेट कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर का जो बच्चों सेट होता है, कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में क्या होता है, वो इस टाइप के एलिमेंट्स हमारे पास स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं. C is equal to x plus iy. C is equal to x plus iy, where x and y belongs to real numbers, but y does not equal to 0. Since if अगर बच्चों y 0 नहीं होगा, अगर y 0 कर दें तो यहाँ पर y 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर y 0 हो जाएगा तो ये x हो जाएगा, जो कि रियल नंबर ही देगा, क्योंकि x और y रियल नंबर ही है. So complex number, set of complex number is in the set form C equal to x plus iy. इस टाइप का जो होता है वहां पर एलिमेंट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर होते हैं. So students, hope that you all understand this topic, that is set, definition of set, representation of set, notation of set, and what are the elements of the set, and some standard set of numbers at I. So students, understand this. Thank you for today's class.
Hello students, have a wonderful morning to one you all. Students, you have seen that in these days we were studying the topic in English literature, and the topic is My Struggle for an Education. My Struggle for an Education. And the particular chapter is written by Booker T. Washington. It's written by Booker T. Washington. So student, last 3 days we are studying this chapter, and in this chapter we have seen that Booker T. Washington really suffered a lot for his education. He really worked hard, he had a ambition, he has a great desire for admitting to that school. And this is also a live example for you that how can you get your education, and in education we always have a struggling life. So today we
proceed this chapter. So student, on your book, page number 7. Page number 7. So we will start the new paragraph. And the first line of the paragraph is, the first sight of the large 3-story brick school building seemed to have rewarded me for all that I had undergone in order to reach the place. So student, here it is described by the writer that as soon as he saw the building, that was the 3-story building, and the building really awarded him a lot, because he had suffered a lot during his journey. He really worked hard during his journey. He really gone through a miserable condition, a pitiable condition. So as soon as he saw that building, he really felt very happy. He felt that he got his destination. So the sight of it seemed to me a new life. What is the meaning of the sight here? Sight means a scene. The venue, the place where the building was situated. So as soon as he saw that building, so he felt that I had forgot all the suffering, all the problems, all the difficulties that I had undergone through my journey. So it means to say, now the writer was very happy to find his destination. Next para, as soon as possible after reaching the ground of Hampton Institute. As soon as possible. So it was into my mind that I could reach there. As soon as possible. I presented myself before head teacher for assignment to a college. Head teacher means the principal of the school. So without wasting any time, without wasting even a single of minute, I presented myself before the head teacher. Having been so long without proper food, a bath and changing of cloth, I did not, of course, make a favorable impression upon her. Favorable means inspiring, attractive impression. Because you know, student, that I have not taken a proper food, I have not taken bath since a long time. So I was looking very bad, I was looking very dirty at that time. So my impression was not good upon the head teacher. That was the main reason. And I could see at once that there were doubts in her mind about the wisdom of admitting me as a student. So as you know, student, if you don't look nice, if you don't appear in a proper uniform, so no one can guess that you are a good student. In the same way, it was the condition of the writer. For some time, she did not refuse to admit me, neither she did decide in my favor. So I was waiting there for a long time. She did not refuse me, and she did not give any answer in my favor. And I continued to linger about her. I waited there for a long time, and to impress her in all the ways I could with my worthiness. Worthiness means ability, the capability, the caliber that you have. So I was trying to make my favorable impression upon the head teacher during that time. In the meantime, I saw her admitting other students, and that added greatly to my discomfort. So this is the main reason during that time, the principal, the head teacher getting admitted to another student. But she was not replying anything to me. Neither positively, not negatively. So I had a great desire for admitting to that college. So I was feeling uneasy at that time. For I felt deep down in my heart, I was getting something discouraged. Not for admitting to that school. but because other students were getting the admission, that I could do as well as they, if they could only get a chance to show what was in me. So, the line is written over here, for I felt deep down in my heart that I could do as well as they, if I could only get a chance to show what was in me. So, the writer was saying that I have lots of capability, I have lots of caliber in me. But the only thing is that if you give me only one chance to show my caliber, to show my ability. Next para. After some hours had passed, the teacher said to me, the principal teacher said to me, she told me, the adjoining recitation room needs sweeping. Adjoining, there is a music room that is adjoined to that room, and in that room there needs dusting. The room was very dirty. Take the room and sweep it. The particular sentence, take the room and sweep it. So, which type of the sentence is it, student? Can you tell me which type of the sentence is it? It's a imperative sentence. Because in imperative sentence, we order to someone, so there was an order for that student. It occurred to me at once that there was my chance. It occurred to me, it happened to me, it fell to me that that was the golden opportunity for me. Because you know well that opportunity knocks the door but once. Opportunity knocks the door but once. It will not knock again and again in your life. So you have to know, you have to recognize the golden opportunity. So that was the golden opportunity. Never did I receive an order with more delight. The writer is expressing here, I had never received, I had never accepted any type of the order, any type of the assignment with more delight. That was the best order for me. That was the best thing for me. Next para, I swept the recitation room 3 times. So I did sweeping there 3 times. Then I got a dusting cloth and I dusted it 4 times. I dusted all the walls, I dusted all the furniture, I dusted all the tables, all the things which were keeping there, all the things which were presented there, I dusted there 4 times. Every bench, table and desk, I went over 4 times with my dusting cloths. Besides, every piece of furniture had been moved and every closet and corner in the room had been thoroughly cleaned. So I cleaned all things properly. It means to say, student, he did his best. He gave his best effort. I had the feeling that in a large measure my future depended on the impression I made upon the teacher in the cleaning of that room. In a large measure means in a large extent, because that was the only chance for me in which I got the admission in that college. Next para. When I was through, it means to say when I completed my work. When I finished my work, I reported to the head teacher. I went to that room and I reported to her that I had completed my work. She was a youngie woman who knew just where to look for dirt. She was a woman, she was a female personality and she belonged to New England of the northern state of USA. And she knew very well where I could find dirt. She went into the room and inspected the floor and closest. Then she took her handkerchief and rubbed it on the woodwork upon the wall. So for inspection, she went to that recitation room. She had a hanky in her hand and she rubbed hanky on every bench and table, on every furniture. Why was she doing all these things? Because of finding the dirt. And over the table and benches, when she was unable to find one bit of dirt of the floor or a particle of dust on any of the furniture, when the head teacher was unable to find any particle of the dirt on the furniture, she quietly remarked. Quietly remarked means she silently remarked, I guess you will do to enter this institution. I'm sure that you can get admission in that college. Student, the last paragraph that is the important for explanation, very important paragraph is this. I was one of the happiest souls on earth. Happiest souls on the earth. The superlative degree is used here, the happiest, it is the superlative degree. So, the writer is saying here, the writer is explaining here that there were many happy people all over the world. Many happy people are there. Many people are happy. But I am the happiest person on this earth. I am one of them. The sweeping of that room was my college examination. Which type of the examination he has given? He has given different types of the examination, a peculiar type of the examination, and he swept in a recitation room, and that was the defer examination. I have passed several examinations since then. He is explaining further that since that time, I have passed different type of the examination. How is it possible? Because the writer got the admission in that college, he got the admission in that college, and after getting that examination, you have to study in the class, and after studying, what you have to do? You have to give different type of the examination. So the writer is saying here that he has given different types of the examination, several types of the examination he had attempted, but that was the best for me. That was the best for me. But I have always felt that this was the best one I have ever passed. This was the best examination for me that I have passed. So student, this is the chapter for you. And after completing this chapter, I just want to ask you one thing. What have you got from this chapter? What have you got from this chapter? What is the moral of this chapter? The moral of this chapter is that where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. जहाँ चाह होती है वहाँ राह होती है. There were many difficulties during his journey. There were many problems. His mother was broken his health. His mother was very weak. In spite of all these adverse circumstances, he determined, he resolved to get the admission in that college. So, like that, you have to struggle a lot for your education, and definitely you will get your success. So, it's only for today. Thank you and have a nice day to you all.
हेलो स्टूडेंट, गुड मॉर्निंग। आज फर्स्ट ईयर क्लास में सामान्य हिंदी के अंतर्गत बच्चों मैं आपको शब्द युग्म पढ़ाऊंगी। परीक्षाओं में शब्द युग्म से संबंधित 2 प्रश्न पूछे जाते हैं और जिसके निर्धारित अंक 2 होते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम यह जान लेते हैं कि शब्द युग्म किसे कहते हैं। उच्चारण की दृष्टि से समान प्रतीत होने वाले अथवा सूक्ष्म अंतर वाले वे शब्द जिनका अर्थ भिन्न होता है शब्द युग्म कहलाते हैं। इन्हीं समुच्चरित भिन्नार्थक शब्द भी कहते हैं। परिभाषा को आप पुनः एक बार सुन लें। उच्चारण की दृष्टि से समान प्रतीत होने वाले अथवा सूक्ष्म अंतर वाले वे शब्द जिनका अर्थ भिन्न होता है शब्द युग्म कहलाते हैं। इन्हें समुच्चरित भिन्नार्थक शब्द भी कहते हैं। बच्चों, अब हम चर्चा करेंगे शब्द युग्मों की और उनके अर्थ की। तो सबसे पहले जो शब्द युग्म दिया है वो है अन्न और अन्य। अन्य माने होता है बच्चों, अन्न माने होता है अनाज और अन्य माने होता है दूसरा। अगला शब्द युग्म है उपकार अपकार। उपकार माने होता है भलाई और अपकार माने होता है बुराई। अगला शब्द युग्म आता है अचार आचार। अचार माने होता है मुरब्बा और आचार माने होता है आचरण। अगला शब्द युग्म आता है आयस, आयश, आयश, आयस। आयश माने होता है बदनामी। आयस माने होता है लोहा। अगला शब्द युग्म है पास, पाश। पास माने होता है निकट। पाश माने होता है जाल, या इसे फंदा भी बोल सकते हैं। अगला शब्द युग्म है पंथ, पथ। पंथ माने होता है संप्रदाय और पथ माने होता है रास्ता। अगला शब्द युग्म आता है अंबुज, अम्बुद। अंबुज माने होता है कमल और अम्बुद माने होता है बादल। अगला शब्द युग्म आता है अभय, उभय। अभय माने होता है निडर, या इसे भय रहित भी बोल सकते हैं, और उभय माने होता है दोनों। अगला शब्द युग्म है सुत, सूत। सुत माने होता है पुत्र, सुत माने पुत्र, और सूत माने सारथी। सूत माने बच्चों धागा भी होता है। अगला शब्द युग्म है अंश, अंश। अंश माने होता है हिस्सा या भाग। अंश माने होता है कंधा। अगला शब्द युग्म है जलद, जलज। जलद माने होता है बादल, जलज माने होता है कमल। अगला शब्द युग्म है अनल, अनिल। अनल माने होता है आग और अनिल माने होता है वायु। बच्चों मैं इसे रिपीट कर रही हूँ, दोहरा रही हूँ। पहला शब्द युग्म दिया है अन्न, अन्य। अन्न माने होता है अनाज और अन्य माने होता है दूसरा। दूसरा शब्द युग्म है उपकार, अपकार। उपकार माने भलाई, अपकार माने होता है बुराई। अगला शब्द युग्म है अचार, आचार। अचार का मतलब होता है मुरब्बा, आचार का मतलब होता है आचरण। अगला शब्द युग्म है आयश, आयस। आयश माने होता है बदनामी, आयस माने होता है लोहा। अगला शब्द युग्म है पास, पाश। पास माने होता है निकट और पास माने होता है जाल या फंदा। अगला शब्द युग्म आता है पंथ, पथ। पथ माने होता है संप्रदाय और पथ माने होता है रास्ता। जो अगला शब्द युग्म है वो है अंबुज, अम्बुद। अंबुज माने होता है कमल, अम्बुद माने होता है बादल। अगले शब्द युग्म पर आते हैं अभय, उभय। अभय माने निडर या भय रहित भी बोलते हैं, उभय माने दोनों। फिर है सुत, सूत। सुत माने पुत्र या बेटा भी कह सकते हैं। सूत माने सारथी और एक अर्थ इसका और होता है धागा। अगला शब्द युग्म है अंश, अंश। अंश माने होता है हिस्सा या भाग, अंश माने होता है कंधा। अगला शब्द युग्म है जलद, जलज। जलद माने होता है बादल और जलज माने होता है कमल। अगला शब्द युग्म है अनल, अनिल। अनल माने होता है आग, अनिल माने होता है वायु। बच्चों ये जो शब्द युग्म मैंने अभी लिखे हैं इनको आपको अपनी CW लैंग्वेज कॉपी पर लिखनी है। नेक्स्ट जो शब्द युग्म है वो इस प्रकार है ग्रह और गृह। ग्रह माने होता है बच्चों नक्षत्र और गृह माने होता है घर। इसी प्रकार अगला शब्द युग्म है आय, आयु। आय माने होता है आमदनी और आयु माने होता है उम्र। अगला शब्द युग्म है अपेक्षा, उपेक्षा। अपेक्षा माने तुलना या आशा करना भी इसको कह सकते हैं। उपेक्षा माने होता है निरादर। शब्द युग्म आता है श्रवण श्रमण। श्रवण माने होता है कान और श्रमण माने होता है भिक्षु। आते हैं अगले शब्द युग्म अविराम अभिराम। अविराम माने होता है निरंतर या इसे सतत भी बोल सकते हैं, और अभिराम माने होता है सुंदर। अगला शब्द युग्म है बात वात। बात माने होता है वार्तालाप या इसे बातचीत भी लिख सकते हैं, और वात माने होता है वायु। अगला शब्द युग्म है द्रव द्रव्य। द्रव माने होता है बच्चों तरल पदार्थ, और द्रव्य माने होता है धन। इसके साथ ही अगला शब्द युग्म आता है आपका स्वर्ण सवर्ण। स्वर्ण माने होता है सोना और सवर्ण माने होता है उच्च जाति। अगला शब्द युग्म है लक्ष्य लक्ष्य। लक्ष्य लक्ष्य माने होता है लाभ और लक्ष्य माने होता है उद्देश्य। अगले शब्द युग्म पर आते हैं तरणी तरुणी तरण। बच्चों बहुत थोड़ा ही अंतर है। तरणी माने होता है नाव, नाव या नौका भी कह सकते हैं। तरुणी माने होता है युवती और तरण माने होता है सूर्य। अगला शब्द युग्म आता है सकल शकल। सकल माने होता है संपूर्ण और शकल माने होता है खंड। अगला जो शब्द युग्म है नीर नीर। नीर माने होता है जल या पानी और नीर माने होता है घोंसला। अगला शब्द युग्म है प्रणय परिणय। प्रणय माने होता है प्रेम, परिणय माने होता है विवाह। बच्चों इन शब्द युग्मों को मैं पुनः एक बार दोहरा रही हूं। ग्रह माने होता है नक्षत्र, गृह माने घर, आय माने होता है आमदनी और आयु माने होता है उम्र। अपेक्षा, अपेक्षा के दो अर्थ निकलते हैं, तुलना या कह सकते हैं आशा करना। उपेक्षा माने होता है निरादर। फिर आता है शब्द युग्म श्रवण श्रमण। श्रवण माने होता है कान और श्रमण माने होता है भिक्षु। अगला शब्द युग्म है अविराम अभिराम। अविराम माने होता है निरंतर या सतत भी कह सकते हैं। अभिराम माने होता है सुंदर। अगला शब्द युग्म है बात वात। बात माने होता है वार्तालाप या इसे बातचीत भी लिख सकते हैं आप। वात माने होता है वायु। अगला शब्द युग्म है द्रव द्रव्य। द्रव माने होता है तरल पदार्थ, द्रव्य माने होता है धन। अगला शब्द युग्म है स्वर्ण सवर्ण। स्वर्ण माने होता है सोना और सवर्ण माने होता है उच्च जाति, इसे कुलीन भी आप लिख सकते हैं। अगला शब्द युग्म है लक्ष्य लक्ष्य। लक्ष्य माने होता है लाभ और लक्ष्य माने होता है उद्देश्य। अगला शब्द युग्म है तरणी तरुणी तरण। तरणी माने होता है नाव या नौका, तरुणी माने होता है युवती और तरण माने होता है सूर्य। अगला शब्द युग्म है सकल शकल। सकल माने होता है संपूर्ण, शकल माने होता है खंड। जो अगला शब्द युग्म है वो है नीर नीर। नीर माने होता है जल, नीर माने होता है घोंसला। फिर अगले शब्द युग्म पर आते हैं प्रणय परिणय। प्रणय माने होता है प्रेम और परिणय माने होता है विवाह। बच्चों ये जितने भी शब्द युग्म मैं आपको करा रही हूं ये सभी बोर्ड एग्जाम में पूछे गए हैं, तो आप भली भांति प्रकार से अच्छी राइटिंग में जो है अपनी CW लैंग्वेज की कॉपी पे इसे सुव्यवस्थित तरीके से कर लेंगे। आज के लिए इतना ही पर्याप्त है। इस टॉपिक को मैं अगले वीडियो में जारी रखूंगी। तब तक के लिए लिए इतना ही। हैव अ नाइस डे।